Welcome back. All right, quick news of the day video for all you fine people for your Friday, September the 15th. Starting off with the update that doesn't really give us any new information, just that things aren't closed up yet when it comes to the Mike Babcock situation. The NHLPA has provided an update to the NHL on what's going on with their investigation into all this. And at this point, they have no public comment. So that tells me it's not closed yet. And so we'll see what happens there. Whether or not they go back to Columbus, whether or not anything else happens, I'll be here to report on whatever happens whenever it happens. But for today, there's your update. The Sens rookies have beat the New Jersey Devils rookies by a score of 5-2 as all the rookie tournaments have gotten going. And they're playing various times of the day. The games in Penticton are at 4:30 and 7 o'clock tonight, for instance. I know the Canucks are playing against the Flames and the Jets are playing against the Oilers. And there's not a lot of coverage from the media, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to agree with this. There's been a debate about how important the tournaments are. I don't think the tournament is as important for, say, it out of Fantilli. Fantilli could have a bad rookie tournament. He's still got a really good chance of making the Columbus roster. These tournaments are important to the players who are looking to win jobs. Important to players who are going to go out there and bust their tail to try to impress management to at least get some kind of an invite to come back. Some of these players that, don't have NHL or AHL contracts and just want to show, hey, here's what I can do. There are examples of that, of players who, are undrafted and then end up fighting their way into an NHL job. So with the tournaments, I think it's more important, too, to track those players and to look at players who are surprised. Very often the players you say, who's this guy and where did he come from? We see that during preseason as well. I'm looking forward to in a week, watching these games and starting to look at who I think is impressive in preseason and who we can start hyping up a little bit. But yeah, so the tournaments, I'm not going to cover the scores of all of the games from all of the tournaments because that gets kind of crazy. And then a week from now, once we get into preseason, it doesn't matter that much. But again, it does matter for individual players. In the big picture for this season, not nearly as much. So for people going to see them, I'm sure that these games will be a lot of fun. But yeah, keep an eye out for the guy who might be on the third line at the rookie tournament. The guy who's on that second line you haven't heard of, they might win themselves a job, and you might be able to look back 5 years from now and say, hey, that guy started his journey at that rookie tournament. Glad I watched it. Phil Kessel, there's been rumors and discussions about whether or not Kessel's going to sign. I believe it was Chris Johnston yesterday that said things are picking up on the Kessel front, of course, because training camp's coming up next week. And it looks like he's likely to actually sign a contract, so not a tryout. And that may be Kessel. It might be teams that are saying, hey, we'll just sign him. But it'll be interesting to see. He's already said that he's not worried about the Ironman streak. If it's going to end, it's going to end. He just wants to play. So I would think also Kessel will likely want to go to a team that has a chance at winning this year because he's going to be on likely a league minimum contract and playing a veteran support role. So we'll see where he ends up. You can make the argument that he's a very useful player with some Stanley Cup rings to his credit as well. And so, yeah, we'll see where he ends up. From yesterday's rookie tournament, Carter Mazur of Detroit got hurt last night. I haven't seen any update on what happened with him and what the injury is. But it was in yesterday's game against Dallas. I didn't see that Detroit's playing tonight. Detroit's playing tomorrow. And so it's Toronto and Dallas tonight in that tournament. But Mazur is a guy who's seen as a pretty solid prospect for Detroit. And so if he were to miss the rest of the tournament, that would be a shame for him as we get ready for training camp. Again, this tournament, you can build up your momentum going into training camp. So hopefully for Mazur, it was just precautionary more than anything else. Easton Cowan, who was kind of a surprise when Toronto drafted him where they did, but he's impressed so far. We'll see how he does at the rookie tournament. Again, first-round draft picks in general, I don't think it's as big a deal if they have a good or bad tournament. But for Cowan, yeah, he's impressed so far. Good work ethic, and coaches are happy, and sounds like media thinks he's pretty good too. So, yeah, we'll see how things go for him with Toronto this year, and again, going into training camp. So the trade deadline's officially been set for March the 8th. I toyed with the idea of setting up a live stream already. But, about 6 months out, it might seem a little bit early to do that, to get that live stream set up. But and I'm always surprised that the NHL doesn't have all that baked into the schedule. It always surprises me it's not baked into the schedule when they release it in early July. That here's the trade deadline, here's where everything else is. But yeah, so it's going to be March the 8th, and we'll see who's selling, who's buying, and who's standing pat. And why is it the Islanders at the trade deadline? So yeah, there you go. You guys are all caught up. I am planning on leaving the house. If that seems like it's no big deal, people are like, why are they saying that? Because in the past, and it feels like 4 or 5 years ago, it was a meme that if I left the house, that something would happen. So could there be a trade? Could there be something? It absolutely, there could be something that happens while I'm out because it's happened before. But yeah, so all the rookie tournaments, I'll do little updates here and there on some notables and some things that I'm able to see. But a lot of the stats for this are elusive, can be hard to find too. And I am mildly surprised that TSN, Sportsnet, some of the bigger websites, they don't have like just a built-in page where they could have all the stats from the rookie tournament just in there. Doesn't even have to be interactive either. It could just be, here's how many games, here's how many points, here's how they did. But again, rookie tournament leads to training camp, leads to preseason, leads to regular season, and so that's going to be fun. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.